and relatively new to real estate, how many financed SFH, single family houses, would it take to be financially free, such as 5K a month? Or is multifamily better investments for ROI? I love that good questions are coming in already during the test. Okay. The answer to that is it depends. It depends on what you're buying. So if you're buying, I have an article somewhere. Here's another learning for today. I need to take notes. I don't have a notepad with me. I'll take notes when we're talking about things. So if I reference something, like I have an article that I wrote a long time ago about how to determine how much it would take to become financially free. So I'll make notes about those things and I can share them with you guys after we're done being live, if that's the right phrasing. But the answer is it depends. It depends on how much cash flow you're getting. So if you're doing properties yourself, you might get a little bit higher cash flow, but you're going to be working, so you can only buy so many of them. If you buy turnkeys, it's just work backwards. So if you want $5,000 a month, and let's say you're bringing home, I don't know, $300 a month, how many $300 a month do you need for $5,000? So it's a pretty easy equation. We also have something, I don't know if it's on the Hipster website right now. We have a whole thing called the 10-minute financial freedom plan or something like that. I will make some notes to share those things with you guys. As far as multifamily versus single family, there's pros and cons to both. I have articles about this too. Multifamily typically is probably going to offer higher ROI, but there's trade-offs. So you end up with typically more transient tenants. This all depends on what kind of multifamily you're buying. More transient tenants. There's pros and cons. Exit strategies are a little bit different. Single-family houses are really good for exit strategy. They're good for getting tenants that are more like on the owner-occupied type of style, higher quality tenants. Again, this depends on what kind of multifamily. If you're buying a really nice triplex, then that's very different than buying a multi-unit, like 16-unit apartment building of like studios or something. So you always want to be thinking about what kind of tenants you are attracting, because your tenants are going to make or break a lot of your investment. So again, multifamily does, well, and this is also dependent on what market you're in. For instance, when turnkeys were like super hot, the Atlanta days, the Dallas days, Kansas City and Indy, even Phoenix way back in the day, a lot of those markets, Atlanta, for example, was one of the hottest to date, one of the biggest markets back in 2011, 2012. That's what got me into it. But there weren't multifamilies. Kansas City and Indy are huge for single families, but you're not really going to find a whole lot of multifamilies. Back in the day, maybe some duplexes. But if you get into like Baltimore, Philadelphia, there's more multis. So multi is, in theory, just going straight off kind of the ideas of single versus multi. Multi usually offers higher returns, but that does depend on where you are, because the price of a lot of multis is so high now, especially in Houston and Dallas and Atlanta and all those, that you're actually not going to cash flow on them. So that's something to consider. But yeah, for financially free, work backwards, and you can always think about diversifying your portfolio. You can try singles and multis, see which ones are working for you. Same with turnkey markets. If you want to buy one in two different markets, hold on to them for a minute, see which ones you like better. Yeah, so